Suez Canal crisis. In Egypt, in a coup in 1952, Colonel Nasser became its president. In 1956, he nationalized the Suez Canal, which undermined British interests. With the failure of diplomacy, Britain and France decided to use force. Israel saw this as an opportunity to open the Gulf of Aqaba to Israeli shipping and put a stop to Egyptian border raids. On 29th October, Israeli forces invaded Egypt. Britain used this opportunity to demand that its troops be allowed to occupy the canal zone to protect the canal. Egypt refused, and on 31st October, Britain and France bombed Egyptian airfields and other installations as well as the Suez Canal area. However, under pressure of world opinion, Britain and France ended hostilities on 6th November. India, represented by Nehru, played a crucial role in resolving the crisis. Arab-Israeli War 1967. Ever since the formation of Palestinian Liberation Organization (PLO), Israel came to be attacked frequently by Palestinian guerrilla groups based in Syria, Lebanon and Jordan. Israel resorted to violent reprisals. In November 1966, an Israeli strike on the village of Al-Samu in the Jordanian West Bank left 18 dead and 54 wounded. Israel's air battle with Syria in April 1967 ended in the shooting down 6 Syrian MiG fighter jets. In his bid to demonstrate Egyptian support for Syria, Nasser mobilized Egyptian forces in the Sinai, seeking the removal of UN emergency forces stationed there on May 18th. On May 22nd, he closed the Gulf of Aqaba to Israeli shipping. King Hussein of Jordan signed a mutual defense pact with Egypt. Accordingly, it was decided to place Jordanian forces under Egyptian command. Soon Iraq too joined the alliance. Yasser Arafat. In 1969, Yasser Arafat became chairman of PLO's executive committee, a position he held until his death in 2004. Yasser Arafat was appointed commander-in-chief of all Palestinian Arab guerrilla forces in September 1970. Wearing a disguised pistol and carrying an olive branch and dressed in a military uniform, his appearance raised world awareness of the Palestinian cause. Arafat was elected by the Central Council of the PLO as the first president of the State of Palestine on April 2, 1989. Arab-Israeli War 1973. Egypt and Syria under Presidents Anwar Sadat and Hasif al-Assad respectively concluded a secret agreement in January 1973 to bring their armies under one command. Sadat offered the Israelis a peace deal. If they withdrew from Sinai, Israel rejected the offer. Egypt and Syria launched a sudden and surprise attack on the Yom Kippur religious holiday. Though Israel suffered heavy casualties, it finally pushed back the Arab forces. Arabs gained nothing out of this war too. By way of mediation, the US succeeded in asserting its hegemony over the region and its oil. Vietnam War. By the end of Second World War, Viet Minh controlled the northern half of Vietnam. Viet Minh formed a government led by Ho Chi Minh in Hanoi. This Viet Minh government quickly occupied the southern half of Vietnam. However, the Allied powers decided at Potsdam that the British in the south and the Chinese in the north should defend Indochina from Japanese. With a population of 16, North Vietnam became a communist state with Ho Chi Minh as president. South Vietnam, approximately of the same size and population, was ruled by Ngo Dinh Diem. Early in 1975, the war took a decisive turn. The armies of North Vietnam and of the National Liberation Front of South Vietnam swept across the country, routing the American-supported troops of South Vietnam. By 30th April 1975, all the American troops had withdrawn and the capital of South Vietnam, Saigon, was liberated. North and South Vietnam were formally united as one country in 1976. The city of Saigon was renamed as Ho Chi Minh City after the great leader of the Vietnamese people. Towards European Union, Council of Europe. One of the momentous decisions taken in the post-World War II era was to integrate the states of Western Europe. In doing so, the Europeans wanted to prevent further European wars by ending the rivalry between France and Germany, to create a united Europe to resist any threat from Soviet Russia, to form a third force in the world to counterbalance the strength of the US and USSR, to make full use of economic and military resources of Europe by organizing them on a continental scale. In May 1949, 10 countries met in London and signed to form a Council of Europe. The Council of Europe, with headquarters at Strasbourg, was established with a committee of foreign ministers of member countries and a consultative assembly drawn from the parliaments of foreign countries. European Coal and Steel Community. The European Defence Community and European Coal and Steel Community were established. 6 countries, France, West Germany, Italy, Belgium, Holland and Luxembourg, belonging to ECSC, signed the Treaty of Rome, which established the European Economic Community or European Common Market with headquarters at Brussels. European Economic Community. The EEC eliminated barriers to the movement of goods, services, capital and labor. It also prohibited public policies or private agreements that restricted market competition. A common agricultural policy and a common external trade policy were evolved. European Common Market was a remarkable success. Single European Act. The Single European Act came into force on July 1, 1987. It significantly expanded the EEC's scope, giving the meetings of EPC a legal basis. It also called for more intensive coordination of foreign policy among member countries. According to the CE, each member was given multiple votes depending on the country's population. Approval of legislation required roughly 2/3 of the votes of all members. European Union. The Maastricht Treaty, signed on February 7, 1992, created the European Union. The monetary policy and a common currency, euro, to replace national currencies managed by common monetary institutions, were subsequently planned and implemented. Today, the European Union has 28 member states and functions from its headquarters at Brussels, Belgium. Fall of Berlin Wall and the end of Cold War era. The division of Germany into West and East led to glaring differences in living standards. West Berlin's economy became prosperous thanks to the support received from the West under the Marshall Plan. In contrast, the USSR had little interest in developing the economy of East Berlin. Further, the people in the East Berlin suffered from lack of democracy and freedom. Therefore, people of East Berlin moved to West Berlin in large numbers. In West Berlin, on the other hand, there was a fear that the Soviets could use military force to take West Berlin. In this context, East Germany began to construct a wall in 1961 which virtually cut off West Berlin from East Berlin and the surrounding East German areas. It was heavily guarded with watchtowers and other lethal impediments to stop people from the east. In the late 1980s, as USSR hold over Eastern European countries was weakening, a mass of people assembled on 9th November 1989 on both sides of the wall and began to demolish it. Germany was officially reunited on 3rd October 1990. The Berlin Wall was more than just a physical barrier. It was a symbolic boundary between the communism and capitalism. With the fall of the Berlin Wall, followed by the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Cold War era came to an end. Perestroika, that means restructuring, refers to the program introduced by Mikhail Gorbachev in the late 1980s to restructure Soviet economic and political system. Along with the policy of glasnost, that means openness, Perestroika was intended to energize Soviet economy, which was lacking behind the developed countries of the capitalistic world. What is glasnost? Glasnost was a policy of ideologically openness introduced by Mikhail Gorbachev along with Perestroika in the 1980s. Under glasnost, there was more openness. Writers who had been censored earlier were rehabilitated, and there was a space for criticism of politics and government. Disintegration of the Soviet Union. In the 1970s and early 1980s, the Soviet Union continued to retain a strong and dominant position in international politics. However, its economy was suffering and was unable to match the productive capacity of the First World. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev took over as head of Russia. Gorbachev spoke about the need for openness and reform. But his commitment to reform, apart from opposition within the ruling Communist Party, did not match the resource available to USSR. In the middle of the 1980s, about 1/3 of the total GDP was going to military in order to maintain a parity with the US in the context of President Reagan's Star Wars program. It became necessary for the Soviet Union to allocate more funds to the military. The increase in the military budget further strained the Soviet economy. The East European communist states under the Soviet umbrella were also in a deep economic and social crisis. Gorbachev's decisions to loosen the Soviet control in the countries of Eastern Europe created an independent democratic momentum. A series of workers' strikes undermined the communist regimes, first in Poland and then in Hungary. A wave of demonstrations that swept East Germany led to the demolition of the Berlin Wall in 1989. Subsequent to it, regimes in Czechoslovakia followed by Bulgaria fell. An attempt by Romania's Nicolae Ceausescu to resist the wave of change by shooting down demonstrators ended in this execution by a firing squad under the command of his own generals. Gorbachev made a last attempt to take a hard line against disruptionists, only to be challenged by a second great miners' strike in 1991 and huge demonstrations in Moscow. In response, constructive forces in his government attempted to take a hard line without Gorbachev. They used troops in Moscow to stage a coup and held Gorbachev under house arrest. But other military units refused to back them, and as a result of power fell into the hands of Boris Yeltsin, a reformer backed by the West. In the meantime, 3 Baltic states had formally left the Soviet Union. They were admitted to the UN as independent countries: Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. In November, 11 republics announced secession from the Soviet Union. Instead, they declared they would establish Commonwealth of Independent States. On 25th December, Gorbachev announced his resignation. For 6 days, the Soviet Union continued to exist only in the name, and at midnight of 31st December 1991, it was formally dissolved. The USSR was no more.